Hello viewers, this is Dow Too Fast here. Now last night when I drove the car, I noticed there was a lot of noise coming from the front end of the vehicle, and it sounded a lot like a power steering issue. So I was worried that maybe the low pressure or high pressure hose has leaked all the fluid. Came home, popped the hood open, look at the hose, everything's fine. The fluid level was a little bit on the low side, but it was not empty. So I went online, did a little research, and I found out that many of the Hondas up until I think 2010 has the issue with the O-ring seal on the power steering pump that needs to be replaced. Basically with age, the O-ring gets a little harder and allows air to get into the system, and it causes cavitation in the power steering fluid. And if you look at the power steering reservoir tank, you might see a lot of bubbles, and if you see that, that's because air has been introduced into the system. So I went to my local Honda dealership just now and picked up two O-rings that you see right here, and I'm going to replace them on this vehicle. Now I wish I did record the sound it was making last night, but it was late and I wanted to quickly check what was going on. But one of the symptoms is that you may still hear a whining sound or grinding sound coming from your power steering area. So right now I'm going to bring the camera up to where the power steering pump is. I'm going to turn the wheel left and right and see if you can hear some of that noise. So this is the power steering pump right here. Now let me show you one quick tip on this Honda Odyssey. Instead of putting the hood prop in this hole at the top, you can actually put it in this bottom hole right here, and it'll give you more space by opening up the hood. So here's a closer look at the power steering pump on this 2008 Honda Odyssey. So in today's service, we're going to replace the O-ring on the low pressure hose and also the O-ring on the high pressure hose. And first we're going to work on the low pressure hose, which is this one right here. And at the bottom there is a 10mm bolt we need to remove, and then this will come out. Here's another look of this hose. You can see the 10mm bolt at the bottom right there. Next thing you want to do is place some paper towel or a shop towel underneath that hose, because when you disconnect it, fluid will come out and you don't want it to drip onto your belts. Now to give me a little bit more room to put my wrench through this space right here, I'm going to release this clip. You push it towards the right, and then I'm going to pull this wiring harness off the bracket. Now to remove that 10mm bolt, you're not going to be able to put a socket on it, so you need a regular 10mm wrench that I have here, and then place it under the belt. Crack that loose. And slowly work your way to remove that bolt. Now you can use your hand and remove the bolts. Here it is. Now gently give it a twist and pull this off. So here's the old O-ring that came out. Now a lot of the older ones might have a black O-ring and you need to replace it with the orange one like you see here. And I did pick up a new one right here, and the part number is 91345 RDA A01. So go ahead and remove the old O-ring. Just wipe down the surface so it's clean. Now before you install the new O-ring, make sure you take some of the Honda power steering fluid. This one I have here is the genuine HG power steering fluid from Honda, and get some of the new fluid and wet this O-ring. Now place your new O-ring in this position. Now we'll reinstall this hose. Just slowly work the bolt back in and tighten it up. Next we'll remove the hose at the top here, and this one's going to be a lot simpler than the other one. We have two bolts right at the top here. Go ahead and remove these two 10mm bolts. Just carefully remove this one here. The part number for this O-ring is 91370 SV4000. So here is the O-ring. You need to get a pick and carefully pull that O-ring off. So on the right side is the old one and the left side is a new one, and definitely this one is a lot harder and this one's more pliable. Now we'll coat the O-ring with some new power steering fluid. Now we'll go ahead and reinstall this hose. Reinstall the two bolts. Now we need to top off the power steering fluid, and make sure you only use the Honda genuine power steering fluid that you see right here. And it's very inexpensive. 1 pint is about $4. Now at this time, leave the cap off. We'll start it up, and that allows some of the air to come out. Go ahead and turn the steering wheel all the way to the right and all the way to the left. Do that a couple of times. Check the level again. If you need to top it off, go ahead and do that. Also, make sure you don't have any leaks. The last thing is to put this plastic engine cover back on. I did not go over it in the beginning of the video, but it's very simple. At the back two corners, we have these rubber snaps that snap in. On the front side, we have two of these plastic screws. You just have to snap it back in place and then turn it clockwise a quarter turn to reinstall it. When you're taking it out, turn this plastic screw quarter turn counterclockwise and it comes out. So it's been about a week since I replaced those two O-rings, and luckily the noise have not come back, so it looked like that might have fixed the issue. So if your Honda might be having a similar problem, hopefully you find this video to be helpful. And the cost of the two O-rings and the power steering fluid is quite inexpensive, so it's definitely worth trying before you replace the power steering pump or the power steering rack. So let me show you what I paid for the parts right here. Here's the actual invoice. And for the 91345 RDA A01 O-ring, that was $1.99, and the 91370 SV4000 or 000 is $1.99 also. And the 1 pint of fluid, the Honda genuine power steering fluid, was $4.34. Total of $8.32. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments section. And don't forget to click on thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. Thank you.